Welcome ladies and gamers. Today we have something real special for you. Obviously I just announced that I am working on 3 DmC Devil May Cry projects, but the reason why will interest you. Obviously I'm going to go over them one at a time. The first one is a brief defense of DmC Devil May Cry. This video is the one that I've been working on recently, and it's the one that I'm doing the most. This one will talk about some of the good videos that are on DmC Devil May Cry, some of the smaller videos that I missed, and then the big chunky wonky at the end. That is because it contains the worst, and I mean it, the worst DmC Devil May Cry video I have ever seen. And that says a lot, because I've seen a lot, but oof, though that video, man, is really something else. I was going to add Vergil's Downfall, Gaming Sins, and Loveless's video, but I split those off. And I'll tell you why near the end of this whole rant thing. So yeah, the planned release is on DmC Devil May Cry's birthday, which is on sometime in January. I forget the exact date, but I think it was either January the 13th, 16th, something like that. But yeah, it's a bit of a ways away, which I think is a good thing. Sometimes when I release a video, over time it sort of doesn't settle right with me. Like there are certain things that I feel I could have done better here and there. So letting it sit for like a month or two will be good, and it'll bring out the inner perfectionist in me. This video will also contain a small combo mad. I'll have to work on that and try and get more people into it. The theme will be kind of like the Persona 3. You'll kind of see it in maybe some of the trailers and teasers. I'll also be talking about some of the smaller stuff like the music and Ninja Theory yet again, just to kind of add a bit more to it, make the video have the video a bit more meat, you know, just to add some extra texture to it. So, of course, I will keep you updated in my Discord channel. You'll see DmC video updates, and you can check that in any time. I'll probably be posting stuff weekly to show my progress. It really shouldn't take that long. This one is in defense of DmC Devil May Cry's story. I think this one's also pretty self-explanatory. I'll be going over Gaming Sins and Loveless's video. It shouldn't be that long, maybe under an hour. Gaming Sins is kind of like a joke at this point, so I feel like going over it may take a while. Because Gaming Sins generally, like cinema sins just in general, isn't a very good form of criticism or critique or just content in general. It's very trash, so I wanted to give it its time of day to properly explain why it doesn't work. The next one up is Loveless. This one is a bit interesting, mostly because it only has like 1,000 views, but I thought it was worth covering because he applies that content consistency criticism. It's some of the stuff that I use that you'll probably see me use when I'm covering like a DC video or something like that. So I think he has some good ideas, just like his execution is just really, really poor. And I think some of this content around the story could be easily fixed. And the reason why I wanted to make this solely about the story was because Loveless's video is just completely about the story. So I thought it'd be a good time. So the first video will obviously go over more of the gameplay stuff. The second video should wrap up the story, and then that brings us to the third video, the ultimate defense of Vergil's Downfall. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. You might be wondering, Splinter, but there was a Vergil's Downfall section in your ultimate defense video. Why is it here? It's like, okay, good question. All right, calm down, okay? Sit in the back, eat your Cheerios, okay? Just listen to me. After looking back, I think I did a horrible job going over it. I thought my response to Super Best Friends was meh. I think my overall analysis of the story and the gameplay was just awful. So, like, it's worth mentioning that when I played Vergil's Downfall, I was only in like 20 hours maybe at most. I barely played it, and I was like, oh, I have to talk about this. So I just kind of rushed it through and put it in the video, even though it didn't go over it properly. So I want to just spend a whole video just talking about Vergil's Downfall, because I think there's a lot to it. It may only be like 6 levels and like half of Dante's moveset, but boy, it has so much. Not only in terms of story, but in terms of gameplay as well. Vergil plays very distinctly, and it would have an impact on the later Vergils that we'd see in the series. And after this point, I'd be going over the criticism directed towards Vergil's Downfall and Vergil in general, and I thought that would just not make a nice video, you know, probably like an hour long. So the first video, 2 hours maybe, 1 hour maybe, and mostly 1 hour. It's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, you might be wondering, why is the guy that made a near 8-hour video breaking these into smaller videos? And I think the answer is pretty simple. The thing is that what I didn't account for is that people that like DmC Devil May Cry probably want to watch through the whole video. And putting out a video that's near 8 hours long. Just like the average person that's a fan of my content or a fan of DmC Devil May Cry, there's no way they're going to get through it all. And they want to get through it all, but they don't do it. And for that, I kind of feel bad for them. I mean, I still haven't met a single person who has watched the full thing to its end, like, at all. I also think there's a lot of room for error. I think there's a lot of stuff that gets rushed. Just in general, I don't like making videos that are super, super, super long. Mostly because I think that a lot slips through the cracks, if that makes any sense. And I don't know. I just think that shorter videos, like an hour, 2 hours, is like perfect. I don't need the video to be another, 5 hour plus journey. And because of that, just working on it is so tiresome. Man, it takes a lot out of you. The reason why I want to make these 3 videos is that I can pump one out, wait a couple months, and then, work on the next one. I don't have to, like, cram it all into one thing. It's just, I don't think it's worth it, Originally, I kind of liked the idea of putting it all in one video, mostly because it's good to do that in terms of, like, views. It puts everything in one place, but because it puts everything in one place, they're more likely for people to not see it. So, by the way, don't expect these to come back to back. I'm not going to make this video, then make the next one about the second video, and then do the third video. No. It ain't gonna happen like that, okay? I do plan to put projects in between each of these DmC Devil May Cry videos, mostly because if I just do DmC Devil May Cry back to back to back, I think you guys get sick of it. I am working on 2 other projects that I want to move forward after this one. One will be a video on Injustice. The other one will be a video called The Ultimate Defense of Batman Arkham Knight. And I'm sure that will draw a lot of attention, so I was going to make a video on Splinter Cell Blacklist, but, oh boy, how do I explain this? It's not very good. Not the game, I'm talking about my script. So, I went over 3 scripts that I had. One was about DMC 3, one was about DMC 5, and one was about Splinter Cell Blacklist. The one on DMC 3 had 10 pages, the one on DMC 5 had 20, and my one on Splinter Cell Blacklist had 32 to be exact. So I was like, of course, then I'll do the Splinter Cell Blacklist. Do not like the script at all. I hate it. It was not very good. It was basically my video on Batman Arkham Origins times 2. It was not very good. It's very detailed, very laid out in terms of like facts and knowledge about Iraq and Afghanistan, but other than that, it's really not that good. So yeah, I'm just dropping that one altogether. So last thing to mention, obviously we're gonna do a stream. I know you guys love the streams, and I do too, but once I get my internet kind of fixed, hopefully, I think my internet's much better than I had before, but yeah, I'll make sure to do that one next. I don't have a second monitor, sadly, so you're gonna have to suffer through some really bad streaming stuff. Hopefully, I'll try and get a debate with one of the creators, and we'll do that live, hopefully. But yeah, that's kind of the way it do. In short, 3 videos on DmC Devil May Cry. I plan to put stuff in between them. Each of the DmC Devil May Cry videos won't be too long, but will be long enough for you to actually watch, So with all that, see ya. Peace.